Yes, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
well, I'll film it. We all film it. Come on, can I film it?
Can I film you filming
fed
him?
up.
Change what you say.
No, it won't change what I
You can film
say.
me, you can film him.
It won't change what I say at all. People are fed up with the entire establishment, and in particular with banks. The whole way money is created in this system, in developed economies, 97% of all money is created by banks when they issue credit. People are fed up with the control of the money supply being somewhere else. It's not surprising that when somebody comes up with an idea to create a method of transferring value which is secure and different, and people are fed up, that people aren't going to invest in it. What do I actually think about the future of Bitcoin? Well, in my view, we need to change the entire way banking works and the entire way money is created. Now, clearly, if that came to pass, that might impact the current interest in Bitcoin. Obviously, many people are investing in Bitcoin speculatively and not primarily as a means of transferring value. However, there are obviously quite a number of service and product providers who do permit that. But this is very important. The two big risks, as I see them, and risk management is more about a conversation than one person saying what the risks are. One is the regulatory intervention. But I've spoken to the regulators, and first of all, it's very small, and people don't consider it to be any big systemic risk to the whole global financial system. But they still would like to find a way of regulating it. But what they don't want to do for the time being is to give it the imprimatur, because actually, if they gave it the imprimatur of regulation, it would have the effect of having more people using it. So they're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. Clearly, they're going to start the exercise by reference to identity checks. That is, without a shadow of a doubt, what they're going to try to do. So I don't quite know where I buy a Bitcoin, but if I buy it from a trader who is known to be a trader who can sell me one, you are going to have to find out who I am.
No, KYC, yeah.
Yeah, know your customer. I personally don't think that should matter, because there's a huge business to be done without having to deal with criminal money, and actually not dealing with criminal money. But you know what I think the biggest risk is? This might sound very odd. The energy usage by the computers of, and I think
Nigeria
that
at the moment
is something that the general population have got an issue about. So if I was trying to mitigate that risk, I would require all miners to prove that every bit of energy they use is solar powered.
Agreed.
But let me just finally, this is risk management, okay? This is really important. And this is the reason why I would invest in Bitcoin. Apart from the fact that I think it's got some way to go before, it's sort of, this is my own view. I take a decision on this kind of risk like this. If the odds are I can get 100 to 1, right? And that's by no means, even at the current price, out of the question. By no means. And I'm prepared to lose the 1.
Yeah.
I actually think that's a pretty good bet.
You're thinking like a trader, which
And,
is
by the way, that's the way risk management should be done. It should be confident and understandable, not a whole load of pieces of paper and a risk register. Let me just show you one slide. You'll see a slide in a moment coming up. Keep going
That's
through.
the only reason I'm in.
This is very important. Yeah, I'll give you these slides if you want.
Mm.
This
I
slide,
like this one.
I invented this document, and this was the only document I took to risk committees. It's a one-pager, right? And you never have more than 10 risks on a risk register. It's a waste of time. By the way, it doesn't really matter what the risks are. But this shows.
Hang on, you don't have 10 because it just becomes irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. It's completely meaningless. So you know, so this is the classic impact, opportunity, likelihood kind of scenario. But this chart can show everything. Inside the ring, you can see mitigation not possible at present monitor. Some risks you can't mitigate.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. Red means inadequate mitigation. So this one here, 4, marginalisation of the London market and migration of capital. This was for a general insurer. We say it's likely and it's got a pretty significant impact, but it's not being mitigated. What are we going to do about it? So the thing about risk assessment is it's a conversation between people and an argument, preferably. So anyway, so I just mentioned that. I am a believer in Bitcoin because I cannot stand the way money is created for the time being. The best campaigners for full reserve banking are positive money. Fractional reserve banking was invented by the goldsmiths when they realised that people didn't come back and get their gold, and they could create a piece of paper which they could charge interest for. It is outdated. We should create a new form of bank where there's a full reserve current account. Think about small and medium-sized businesses who have to have their payroll in a bank way above the deposit guarantee. If I could create a full reserve bank, and then any other cash that you have, you invest in what is fundamentally a collective investment scheme, low risk, medium risk, high risk loans, or whatever it is you want to do with it. It doesn't really matter. But at the moment, you cannot do that. So I think the Bitcoin is a response to the control of the money supply and the way, with the greatest of respect, the elite and the establishment control everything. I think it's a statement for anarchy, but it's a statement for speculation at the same time. But I think the odds are good enough to warrant saying, well, I don't care if I lose. You know, but you know, only put in what you can lose, because the odds of gaining are very high at the moment. That's my view.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.